My name is Emma Collins, and I never thought a simple Boxing Day bet would change how I saw family, laughter, and the warmth that brings people together. It all started one cold December morning, just after Christmas. The snow outside painted our small Pennsylvania town white, and the lingering smell of cinnamon rolls filled the air. My boyfriend, Liam Parker, and I had just finished cleaning up from Christmas dinner at his parents' home. Their family was the type that truly embraced holiday traditions, big dinners, cozy fires, loud laughter, and competitive games that everyone took just a little too seriously. Liam's uncle, Uncle Jack, was the life of every family gathering. A retired firefighter in his mid-50s, he had the kind of charisma that could fill a room before he even spoke. Always joking, always challenging someone to a friendly bet, Jack made sure no holiday ever felt dull. That Boxing Day, after breakfast, we all gathered in the living room. The tree lights were still twinkling, soft music played in the background, and Uncle Jack walked in holding 2 mugs of coffee with a mischievous grin. "All right, everyone," he announced. "Time for the annual Boxing Day challenge." I laughed, sipping my cocoa. "You all really make this a thing every year, huh?" Jack winked. "Tradition is tradition, Emma. And today's challenge is trivia." Everyone groaned, half excited, half terrified. The Parker family took trivia seriously. Liam's mom started organizing notepads while his dad brought out a bell from the kitchen to serve as a buzzer. Jack turned to me. "Emma, since you're the newest to our holiday crew, how about you and I form a little wager?" I raised an eyebrow. "What kind of wager?" "If you win, I'll cook you my secret chili recipe next weekend. If I win, you have to wear this ridiculous Christmas sweater all day tomorrow while helping me with decorations for the community center." The sweater he held up had blinking reindeer noses and fuzzy snowflakes. It was hilariously ugly. Everyone burst into laughter. "Deal," I said, shaking his hand, confident I'd win. The trivia began. Questions ranged from Christmas songs to world capitals. I was doing surprisingly well, answering quickly and accurately, until the final round. Jack's brother read the question aloud. "What year did Boxing Day officially become a holiday in the United Kingdom?" I hesitated. 1871. Jack slammed his hand on the bell. "Nope. 1871 was when the Bank Holidays Act passed, but Boxing Day was celebrated long before that. The correct answer is 1833. The room erupted in cheers. Jack stood up, dancing a little victory jig. "Looks like I win, Miss Collins." I groaned but laughed along with everyone. Fine, fine, a bet's a bet." The next morning, I arrived at the community center wearing the hideous sweater. Kids pointed and laughed as I helped Jack string up garlands and hang paper snowflakes. He was humming old Christmas songs, completely in his element. As we worked, I noticed how everyone at the center seemed to adore him. He greeted every volunteer by name, joked with the kids, and always had a kind word for anyone who looked tired. There was something heartwarming about it. He wasn't just doing this out of obligation. He genuinely cared. During our lunch break, we sat outside on a bench, sipping hot cocoa from a thermos. The snow had stopped falling, and everything felt calm. "You know," Jack said quietly, "I started helping out here after I retired. Didn't really know what to do with myself. Lost a few friends along the way, so I figured I'd spend my time making people smile instead." His honesty took me by surprise. "That's really kind of you, Jack." He smiled, a little bittersweet. "We all need something that keeps us going. For me, it's this." I found myself looking at him differently, not just as the loud, funny uncle, but as someone who carried his own quiet strength and generosity. When we got back inside, he encouraged me to join the kids in decorating cookies. One little girl accidentally spilled sprinkles everywhere, and I expected Jack to scold her. Instead, he just laughed and said, "That's the best part. You made a snowstorm inside." The girl's face lit up. Later that day, the decorations were finished, the kids were laughing, and the room looked magical. Before we left, the director of the center came over to thank Jack. "You always bring such joy here," she said warmly. He shrugged modestly. "It's easy when you've got good company." He winked at me. That moment stuck with me. When Liam picked me up later, I couldn't stop talking about how amazing his uncle was. "He's just a good person," I told him. "I learned more from losing that bet than I expected." Liam laughed. "That's Uncle Jack for you. He's been through a lot, but he never lets life steal his humor." Over the next few weeks, Jack and I became good friends. He'd text me photos of his new cooking experiments, ask about my job, and occasionally drop off homemade soup when I was sick. He even taught me how to make that chili he promised. One evening in February, the community center hosted a thank you dinner for all volunteers. Jack invited me and Liam to come along. As speeches were made and people shared stories, I realized how much of an impact he'd had on everyone's lives. When Jack was called to the stage, he turned to me before going up. "See, Emma," he whispered, "sometimes losing a bet is the best thing that can happen." He spoke humbly, thanking everyone, and even made a joke about his famous ugly sweater. The whole room laughed. I could see how deeply respected and loved he was, not just for his humor, but for his heart. That night, I thought back to Boxing Day, the bet, the laughter, the sweater, and realized it had led me to one of the most meaningful friendships I'd ever had. Months later, Jack surprised everyone by announcing he was moving to Florida to help run a small volunteer program for retired firefighters. The whole family was sad to see him go, but proud too. Before leaving, he stopped by my apartment. "You still owe me something," he said, grinning. I blinked. "What's that?" "A rematch. Trivia, next Boxing Day." I laughed. "You're on. But this time, I'm studying first." He winked. "Good. Because I'm not letting you win that easily." We hugged, and he said something I'll never forget. "Family isn't always who you're born with, Emma. Sometimes it's who shows up when you least expect it." That Boxing Day changed more than just a holiday tradition. It reminded me how little moments of kindness, humor, and humility can connect people in lasting ways. I still have that ugly Christmas sweater, blinking lights and all. I keep it in my closet as a reminder that sometimes, losing can lead to winning something far more important, genuine connection. Every year since, Liam and I continue Jack's Boxing Day tradition. We gather friends, host trivia, and donate to the community center. And every time someone laughs at that sweater hanging in the corner, I smile, remembering the day a simple bet turned into a lifelong lesson about warmth, laughter, and family.